don't even know what day it is. What's today?
The 11th, Friday the
Friday?
11th.
Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend for some people. Ukrainians don't really get a weekend right now. So we'll just jump right in. We don't want to drag these out. I feel like we make them go too long sometimes. So beginning with, I talked to my friend today who's in occupied territory near Mariupol, who has the two little kids. It's still very rough on them. She struggles every day as a mom, as a woman. It's just, I can tell when we chat, it's just incredibly painful for her. She was telling me that last night or this morning they bombed their airfield. So there were obviously big explosions and stuff, and her oldest son ran to her and was saying, "Mommy, I'm scared." And she said, "Well, let's pray to Jesus about it." And she said he started praying and asking Jesus to give him strength not to be scared. I can't even imagine what that's like as a mother, to be a mother of small children who are listening to explosions right outside of your window and praying for Jesus to help you not be afraid. But they're alive. And as they need funds, we're able to, thanks to a lot of y'all who are donating, we're able to send them funds. So thankful for their safety. Just continue to pray for them, pray for those little babies, that Jesus will help them be brave and not be afraid.
It was interesting. Bria was looking for a specific video today, and I was going back through videos to a few minutes ago, and there was just one from one of our friends one of our pastor friends, and he has a bunch of orphans in his house, and I don't even remember watching this video, and they're playing and coloring, and then he goes through the living room into the dining room area where they're covered, and then coloring, and then out of the house, and they're like, as he opens the door and then goes outside, there's just massive weapons fire. And that's from a few days ago, but I was just like, I barely can wrap my head around that. My hands either, but just, for the kids that don't understand, and the adults that are taking care of them, it's immensely difficult.
Is this Signal?
That's Signal, yeah.
Okay. So we were just going to read, I'll have to translate the messages. Well, I think one of them wrote it. Nope, Ukrainian. So I was just going to translate
Go a bunch down.
the messages that our pastor friends sent us today and let y'all know how they're doing. We continue to send them funds every day from y'all, from the donations that you're sending to Jess's Venmo and PayPal. So thank y'all so much for doing that. It's all they have to be able to buy supplies and stuff. So it's just they express their gratitude to us, which is beyond words, and then we try our best to put it into words to express it to you. So he wrote, this is the one in occupied territory. He just wrote a little bit today. He sent some photos, which we don't have blocked out at the moment, so we can't show you because we don't want to show anyone's faces since they are in Russian occupied territory. But there is one little boy. I'll just let you listen to him. So he's holding looks like a box of cookies and a pomegranate and a box of crackers, and then you can just listen to what he says.
Thank you.
So that was a precious little Ukrainian boy saying thank you in his best English. So thanks y'all so much for continuing to send gifts. We know this isn't an easy time economically for anyone, but the fact that you would sacrifice your money to help our friends and even strangers in Ukraine that we're able to send this money to, it just means the world. So The one pastor friend in occupied territory just wrote, I got the money you sent. Thank you. I can tell you God does many great things over here, but you know this and can say the same thing, right? I got the funds, but I know it takes an effort of so many people over there, including your personal, sacrificial, and humble hearts. Thank you. And then we did hear from our other pastor friend who is in the military now. He voluntarily joined up. He's beyond conscription age. He's somewhere in his 60s. I don't know his exact age. We guess around 65 maybe. But he chose to join the military, join up with the military, and fight for his country. And hi, Roman. I don't know if you have any family or friends in Ukraine, but I hope they're safe. So this other pastor friend that we've known for many years, he wrote today. We don't hear from him very often. And he said, hi, friends. Unfortunately, I can't tell you where I am or what I'm doing, but everything is good. The only thing is I have a little bit of issue with my health. I think he pinched a nerve in his right leg. So he said it's difficult to walk, but I'm being treated. Just lift me up in prayer for full healing. So you can pray for him. We can't give you his name, but if you just want to pray for V, you can just call him V, and pray for his full healing, that his leg would be healed. And I told him that we would be praying, and we would pray until he's running around like a 16-year-old boy again. So
We should have named them by a first initial.
we should. So we'll start calling them Z and V.
Z and V.
Z is in occupied
And
territory.
I and A.
Yes.
We
Anyways,
should have thought this ahead of time. Oh well.
we don't know what we're doing.
We
so
don't.
we're
We
just making it up as we go. So yeah, they're both safe, and just please continue to pray for their safety, their strength, their courage, their joy, their energy.
So, A, who is
Actually, O.
right. I'm still learning, hooked on phonics. I struggle, but A or O, we'll figure it out later. He wrote this, and I just got this 8 minutes ago. He said, every day, and he is in occupied territory. He's the one that goes in and out of the occupied area. He says, every day, the situation is getting worse and worse. There are fewer products, prices are rising, and there is no fuel in the city at all. Now the lights are off. We sit at home in the dark, no gas either. Many people get cold, turn on electric heaters, and as a result, the lines do not withstand and there is no electricity. Thank God our house is warm. We burn wood. No shooting today is also good news. But there was an attempt on our authorities. They are forced to work for the Russians. We pray. So evidently, some of their administration in the city in which he lives, those administrators, those authorities are being forced to work on behalf of the Russian government or the occupational force. So I don't know what the details are of that. He might not either. At any rate, really, really hard. Yesterday he had sent a video and there was electricity. But he has a wood burning stove. He's got about 30 people in his house. When we got a video from him yesterday, he just sort of panned around to everybody. And so it's that's the reality. No heat, no electricity. It's dark, but they're warm, at least in his home. And so, but I will tell you that we have been able to get funds to A, and A has been able to send funds to other pastors, including Z. And they're they're kicking butt, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, so you guys, I would say that you guys are probably supporting somewhere between 500 and 1,000 people.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, we send the money that you send to us, we send it to about, I think we've sent it to 5 different people so far.
mm-hmm.
But then they are sharing it, spreading it around with everyone that they can. So it's incredible.
I also said to and I is in Odessa, and he is helping get people over the Moldovan border. We've talked about him before. He actually said he doesn't need funds right now, which is amazing for him to say. But they are working on getting another 16 passenger van. So I don't have any details other than that for but I admire the discernment to say, hey, there are other people that they're giving to. I don't need it at the moment, even though he very much could take advantage of that. So these are just little snapshots of the integrity of these men and women, and which is very cool.
Yeah. Okay, just a couple more things that we just wanted to cover today. So the sweatshirts that we're wearing, this is, for those who don't know, this is the coat of arms or the symbol of Ukraine. It's called the Trezub, which it means trident. Yeah, like basically literally translated 3 teeth.
Trezub?
Trezub.
Trezub.
Very good, babe.
All right.
And so this actually spells out freedom. It starts here with what looks like a B, which is the letter V in Ukrainian. Then it comes down here, and this is O. Then this, it's like a upside down V, is L. And then over here you have what looks like a backwards capital R, and that's Ya. So that spells out the word voля in Ukrainian, which
Volia.
Beautiful. Which means freedom.
Volia.
So our friend, we have a friend here in Buffalo who does screen printing, and we actually just went to him because we were looking for something like this and we couldn't find it online, and the things that we were finding online, like on Amazon or whatever, are like made in China. And we were like, well, we don't want to have Chinese companies profiting off of genocide in Ukraine. So yeah, we didn't want to buy like through Amazon or anything. So we just went to our friend and we're like, hey, could you make this? And he was like, sure. And then he said, do you think other people would want them? He said, if they do, I'll put these in production and sell them on a website and donate the profits to your friends in Ukraine. So it looks like I've put out a picture of these on my social media on Instagram and Facebook. If you just go to Bria Blessing, and it looks like enough people want to order these that we're going to work with him to put them up on a website, manufacture them, sell them, and then my best understanding, he'll send the profits to us, and then we'll send them to these pastors that we work with in Ukraine. So if you want that, we're just trying to come up with like ways that we can raise more money for people in Ukraine because they're in such desperate need of it now. So I've been invited to sing at a couple charity concerts that I'm going to be doing coming up.
More than one?
Yeah, there's another one that I haven't told you about yet. Oh. It's not set yet. It's not set in stone.
Marriage communication, people.
It's not set in stone yet. And you were gone all morning.
Good point.
Anyways, so yeah, we're just trying to like, I know tons of people, millions of people around the world are just trying to come up with how can we raise money for Ukraine. So yeah, if you want.
It's really comfortable. They're really good sweatshirts.
Yeah, if you want a sweatshirt, he said he could also probably do t-shirts. Just keep an eye on my social media, and once the website is up, you'll be able to see what items are available. But we're just making it real simple. It's just these two prints.
It would
white
be that,
or black.
and it would be the same a t-shirt form as well.
So that's one thing. The other thing, real quick, I don't want to go too much longer. I just wanted to address something that I made a little bit of mention about before in a video, but did it more emotionally because it had just come to my attention. But I do want to address it again, and more in a straightforward way as opposed to an allegorical way, which I did before. I'm seeing a lot of really shocking rhetoric from Americans. I've seen some on YouTube, people I don't know, like well-known celebrities or whatever who have YouTube channels. I've seen it on Facebook from like friends of friends. So I'm starting to get the picture that this rhetoric is actually quite widespread, and it's quite dangerous. It's literally just Kremlin propaganda that is being believed by Americans in the States and spread. Propaganda like Ukrainians in Eastern Ukraine are actually more Russian than they are Ukrainian. That is 100% Russian propaganda. And these people in the States who are spreading this propaganda are people who've never even been to Ukraine before. They don't know Ukrainians. They know nothing about the culture of Ukraine, and they're just regurgitating this propaganda that they're hearing, and for some reason they're believing it. As someone who lived in Ukraine for 30 years, I can absolutely attest to the fact I've been in Eastern Ukraine. They are 100% Ukrainian there. They love their country. So that is absolutely false. Today I saw propaganda about the 2014 Revolution of Dignity being a US funded ultra right wing, I don't even know, it's craziness. I would never have believed that anyone could actually believe this propaganda. It's so ridiculous if I wasn't seeing it online being spread by Americans. So I stood with Ukrainians in their Revolution of Dignity on the Maidan, the square in Kiev in 2014. And I can tell you, it was not pushed or funded by the US. Those Ukrainians went there of their own volition to fight against the Russian puppet government that was in control of Ukraine at that time, to overthrow it because they wanted democracy and they wanted to move further to closer ties with Europe and further away from Russia. So again, it's Kremlin propaganda that Americans are believing and spreading, and I'm just shocked. So if you hear any of this kind of stuff, if you believe any of this kind of stuff, first of all, it's not true. It's completely false. I've been to Ukraine. I lived in Ukraine for 30 years. My family is in Ukraine. My friends are Ukraine. This war is very real. This is not fake media. This is not fake news. People are actually saying that. And it's hard to not get fired up about it when my friends are being bombed and shot at in the streets. So if anybody starts spouting off really weird conspiracy theories about Ukraine, I would just suggest respectfully asking them how much time they've spent in Ukraine and how many close relationships with people in Ukraine do they have? Because my guess would be the answer would be 0. And if they want the truth, suggest that they find someone like me or an actual Ukrainian who's in Ukraine to tell them what the actual situation is. We'd be more than happy to. But I would just ask y'all, call out this rhetoric, this propaganda if you hear it, because it's not just a matter of like differing beliefs. This is actually dangerous propaganda. It's what Putin is using to justify his genocide in Ukraine. So it's very important that people know what is true and what is not. So call them out on it. You can do it nicely, but don't let people spread around this false narrative.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is my wife. Love it.
I stayed calm. I thought I stayed calm.
You did wonderful.
Okay.
And you look really good in that sweatshirt.
everybody looks good in Ukrainian clothes.
That's also very true. You know what? Only thing we missed is the cat didn't come and show up in the video today.
Sugar Plum, you're not doing your job.
She's looking at birdies, I think. She doesn't get out much. Anyway.
So we did pretty good. This is at 20 minutes. Thank you, Vlad. We love Ukraine, and we'll do whatever we can for Ukraine. So, American friends, thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for staying involved and invested in this.
Дуже дякую.
Дуже дякую. Thank you very much. Ukrainian friends, we love you. Those that are in the States and have family and friends in Ukraine, we understand how heartbreaking this time is when all you want to do is be there and help the people that you love and you feel totally helpless. So we're praying for you as well. Friends in Ukraine, I don't know if you understand. I know some of you speak English, some don't. I do some other stuff in Ukrainian on my Instagram or whatever, but for those in Ukraine who speak English, we love you. Our hearts are with you and our efforts are with you. Anything that we can do, we're trying to just do as much as we possibly can to help you and to have this end peacefully and with justice for Ukraine. Yeah.
Great job, hon.
Слава Богу and слава Україні.